I woke up in a strange house, and I think the walls are screaming. Let me preface something first off. This computer is not my own. I know not whose house this is, nor do I know whose account I'm posting on. What I do know is when I awoke a few minuets ago. It was on the floor of a room that is strange to me. It's somewhat, with the only furniture consisting of a bed, one chair, and a desk, of which a computer lies upon. I am currently typing on said computer, as when I booted it up, it opened on this page, so I'm recounting today's events on here in the hopes that one of you may know what is happening. Let me take you back, what I hope to be, a few hours earlier in the day. It all started with a phone call. I was on my break period at work when I received an invitation to go out later that day. It was my best friend, Ebony's 21st birthday, and we had made plans for our small circle of friends to go to and Benny's for dinner. Some of you will be familiar with the restraint chain and its outright heinous prices, but it was of our. Well, Ebony had called me to let me know that we would be leaving earlier than planned, as we were going to go to the bar afterwards for a few drinks fast forward to the end of my shift, and I'm getting ready to meet up at her house. I'm walking down the fairly busy street. It's around 5 p.m. at this point, so everyone was heading home from work, when the first peculiar thing happened. As I'm walking along the street, I see a flash for a second only just come into my peripheral vision. Of course, I just brush it off at first as it could be anything. What made it strange, though, was the further 4 times I see the same flash along the 20 or so minuet walk to Ebony's place. When I get there, she and our other friends Jess and are waiting for me. We waste no time and call a taxi to ferry us into the town center. When the driver picks us up, we have a pretty uneventful 15-minuet ride and eventually arrive at the restaurant. The second weird thing to happen was when I exited the taxi. The driver said, "Hope you have a fun night tonight, Liam." Thinking nothing of it, I just smiled and said thank you before he drove away. It was only a few seconds later when the thought hit me. How did he know my name? I was positive nobody had said it in the taxi, as all my friends refer to me with my last name instead of my first. I started to think more about it, but was interrupted by my friends, eagerly discussing what they would have to eat, and so I started thinking too, disregarding my prior thought as another easily explainable thing. Perhaps my friends had said my name, and I forgot. Either way, still a pretty weird thing to say as a taxi driver. We all eat our meals, pay the bill, which was overly high as usual with this chain, and started hitting up clubs. It's at this point where I'm still a little fuzzy on what happened, but we started bar hopping, and when we hit up our third bar of the night, Neon Glory, the time had come for me to break the seal, as it were. It was then that it happened. Whilst using the urinal, another guy walked in to do his business, and he broke the number 1 rule of this bathroom. He used the urinal next to mine. Luckily, I had finished up and headed over to the sink to wash my hands when the man started talking to me. He started saying things such as, "You know, I think tonight will be one to remember. And me and my friends are having so much fun. We've been planning this for ages." Somewhat uncomfortable. I assumed he was just drunk and trying to be friendly. After all, who of us haven't said random stuff when pissed? It was when he said something along the lines of "Your help will be greatly appreciated." I went to pay more attention to him. I went to look back at him to respond. But that's where everything goes dark on my end. And the next thing I know, I'm in this room with a huge headache. I don't know what happened, but the bruises on my knuckles indicate a fight, and what I hope to be someone else's blood on my clothing. All I know is that I'm in a strange room, in a town of 437,000 people. I could be in any building and could have been taken by anyone. My hopes of being found are low, but please, if you can help me, anything at all, please try. Because I'm not alone. I think I can hear the walls screaming, or whatever lies beyond them, and I think I can hear someone walking up to the door.